So that was my image that you saw a while ago. I'm from South Africa, and in a country of 55 million people and untold inequality in wealth and unequal distribution of wealth, I learned how not to waste. When I outgrew my clothing or tore a hole in it, never once did it see the inside of a trash can. Clothing that didn't fit me went to people who it did fit, and clothing that had holes in it was used as cleaning rags at home. So fast forward 10 years. Oh, that's not right. It's also wrong. Well, I'll tell you. Fast forward 10 years, and I'm standing in the north of Holland in a clothing collection and sortation facility that processes 10,000 tons of clothing per year. And I'm realizing, shit, this is one facility in one town, in one country in Europe. Quite a shocking thought. They're essentially doing the same thing that I was at home, right? They're sorting the clothing into the clothes that can be reworn and the clothing that can't be reworn. And that last one, the clothing that can't be reworn, that's where the problem is. And that's where I find myself today, navigating this massive pile of textile waste with as knight in shining armor, the circular economy. Knight in shining armor. So what is circularity? I call it sustainability 2.0. It's the future, and we have no time to waste in realizing it. A circular economy is an economy in which there is no waste. Waste is considered a resource, and so it is put back into the supply chain from where it came. It's a limitless supply of resources because we, the consumers, are the new suppliers. Right now, almost everything that we have, hopefully this is right, is based on a linear take, make, and dispose model, where we take resources from the earth, make garments, and then dispose of it at a rate like never before. We harvest 90 million tons of fiber to make about 80 billion garments, and 75 to 85% of that is sent to landfill. And when we throw something away, when we send it to landfill, we're essentially throwing away every single resource that we use to make our garments of clothing. Not just the cotton, not just the water, but the labor and the hands that we use to make it across the whole supply chain of a t-shirt or of a pair of jeans. It's ridiculous. We cannot afford to be doing this for the next 100 years. Why? Why can't we afford to be doing this for the next 100 years? In our lifetime, so by 2040, the world is going to hit a population of 9 billion people. And with a rapidly increasing middle class, that's going to increase per capita consumption following the Western model. We're facing increased geopolitical instability, which has really real impact and ramifications on environmental protection policies and global materials flows and our access to those materials. And to top it off, we have an increasingly unpredictable climate. And with pressure from a growing population and the question whether to use arable land for food or cotton crops, the decision is quickly made. So I don't know about you, but on a weekly basis, daily in fact, I self-diagnose myself as having eco-anxiety. It's a real thing. So these are the problems, but I'm not here to harp on about them. I'm here to talk about some solutions. And I'm very fortunate to work at a company called Circle Economy, which is mission-driven, and that mission is the practical and scalable implementation of the circular economy. So what I want to talk to you about today are 3 projects that are on the top there: Fiber Sort, Circle Market, and our Closing the Loop projects. The Fiber Sort is an Interreg-funded project. It's a machine that auto-sorts clothing based on composition. Why do we need it? Well, I need you guys to, for 3 seconds, no, you'll get 5, to look at the labels in your shirts now. Please do it. I'm not joking. Please look at the labels in your shirts. Left or right side. Come on, please look at the labels in your shirts. Or in your back, it's on the side. It'll be on the side. Okay. Seeing a lot of cotton shirts here. You might get away with it. Okay. So can the people who are wearing one type of fiber put up their hands? If you're wearing 100% cotton, 100% polyester, hopefully the stats will still check out here. Okay, 10%, maybe 20% of you are wearing 100% monostring, right? 100% cotton, 100% polyester. Who's wearing two fibers? So a blend of cotton poly, or okay, that's 3 people. Wow. Okay. Who didn't check? Who doesn't have a label? Who's wearing more blends? This is where you should most put up your hands because half of you are checking. Exactly. This is the bottleneck in the industry, right? There are so many blends, and the amount of blends that is flooding the market is rapidly increasing. And this is what the fiber sort is going to do. It solves 2 massive problems in the industry. Firstly, it adds value to that growing non-rewearable fraction that I was talking about at the beginning. And secondly, it creates recycling inputs based on fiber composition and color. There's a very technical term here. It's called crap in and crap out. If you don't know what's in the material that you want to recycle, how are you going to get quality coming out of it, right? So this is the fiber sort. The reason I wanted to bring it up today is because it started a couple of years ago, and with Interreg now, the main goal of the project is to commercialize it. But it started a couple of years ago quite differently, and that was that the project partners were sitting on an innovation which they didn't know how to connect to the market. They didn't necessarily know how to apply it to the market, so what kind of recycling grades people were looking for, what the market actually needed. And so what Circular Economy did is put that and make it relevant to the market. So key takeaway here is to identify your knowledge gaps and then find partners that mitigate that. Those are the project partners. The second project is Circle Market. This is an online platform aimed at connecting the supply and demand of textile waste. It's not waste, it's excess, right? This originally started as a kind of Google Maps for all resources across all industries. But looking at funding and the readiness of different sectors, textiles was screaming for a solution like this. And the proof is in the pudding, because we get emails daily from both ends of the spectrum, from designers looking for textile scraps to use in their collections, to brands and companies looking for alternative solutions to their textile flows. So we focused on textiles, which was a very important step for us. We refined. We said textiles is the sector we're going to focus on. And now we have the platform up and running, well, in MVP stage, and we're testing it with 18 pilot partners. And what's come out of that is a really interesting and very valuable key learning as well, which is that we have to refine again. We again have to look at exactly what the market needs, listen to what they want, and do it. So we're in the process of refining that even more, and hopefully stay tuned, because next year there will be a public platform. So here the key takeaway is know when to refine or pivot. The third project is our high-value recycling projects. This started last year with Recover Textiles, which is a fabulous mechanical recycler based in Spain, approached us, and they wanted to use post-consumer textiles in their inputs. So they came to us and they put this forward, and together with some members at the time, we developed these 3 pilot projects. And what came out of each pilot project is actually quite different, but all serves the same purpose of closing the loop. So we worked with G-Star, Salvation Army, Reshare, and then on the right, Reblend. Reshare used Army uniforms as input, and the output was the bags and the blankets that you can see there. Reblend put the first 100% post-consumer recycled garment on the market after a very successful crowdfunding campaign. This is pretty amazing because you don't really come across 100% post-consumer recycled garments at all. And for G-Star, we did a business case assessment where we didn't only look at the business case, but considered the environmental impact as well, and compared the cost of closing the loop versus virgin sourcing. Why I wanted to bring this up today is because the key learning is, for us here, was solving a problem, and then knowing that innovation breeds innovation, because what followed from these 3 high-value recycling projects is another project which has started called Circle Fashion Tool, which aims at kind of giving businesses the knowledge to understand what's going to happen when they want to look at alternative solutions for their textiles, so looking at the environmental case versus the business case when they have these tons of textiles lying around. So the 3 things that I want to leave you with today is start with a problem and not an idea. The whole textiles program where I work was founded on this very thing. We found a massive problem and we decided to solve it. And each project that we have is also based on this. I mean, we've heard lots of problems today, right? The second thing is refine or pivot. Listen to your results. If you test well, and if you test your concepts well, the results won't lie, and then you can make decisions based on really strong results. Thirdly, and possibly most importantly, is to find partners, the right partners to collaborate with. Fill those knowledge gaps and follow your gut and find people that share the same ambition and the same values as you do. So please don't waste any more time. Don't point the finger. You only have yourself to blame. Commit to collaborate and join circular economy in realizing the future now. Thank you.